The word obsession, it kind of has a bad rap, right? It makes us think of something unhealthy, maybe even a little scary. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if that all consuming focus, that raw intensity, is actually your single greatest asset?
So let's just ask the question, what would really happen if you let yourself become obsessed? I'm not talking about in a destructive way, but in a way that helps you build the exact life you want.
Imagine being obsessed with your goals. That one massive project, that next career move, that personal best you've been chasing. A focus so sharp, it just cuts right through all the noise.
Or hey, what if you turned that obsession inward, a relentless fire to learn more, to build new skills, and to absolutely smash through the limits you thought you had? Think about waking up every single day with just one driving thought. How can I be just 1% better than I was yesterday? That is the kind of obsession that changes everything.
But you've got to be ready, because the moment you commit to this, the world is going to push back. The first reaction you get from people probably isn't going to be applause. They're going to think you've gone too far.
You're going to hear this one a lot. Relax. And look, they probably mean well, but they just don't understand the fire that's been lit inside you.
And then comes this classic, you're taking this way too seriously. To them, your new intensity, it feels like an overreaction. Your focus is just too much. They just don't get it.
And that's because there's a total disconnect. They can't see the vision that's playing out in your head. They don't see the mountain you're determined to climb. Your reality is just completely different from their perception.
Here's what you have to remember. They don't feel that hunger deep inside you. They don't hear that quiet voice telling you, you can be more. And honestly, you can't really explain that feeling to someone who doesn't have it. Because while the outside world is kind of confused, something really powerful is happening inside you. Your entire inner world is transforming. Everything is about to change. All of a sudden, you have this new clarity. Your focus becomes razor sharp. You realize just how valuable every single minute of your time is. And your priorities, they become crystal clear. Now, this is the other side of that coin. To get that clarity, some things just have to go. All those distractions, all the I'll do it tomorrow excuses, the safety of your comfort zone, they're gone. But these aren't sacrifices, they're upgrades. This right here might be the single biggest shift. Before, you probably only worked when you felt motivated, but motivation, it comes and goes. When you're obsessed, you're driven by discipline. You show up whether you feel like it or not. The work itself becomes the motivation. So, what does this actually look like day to day? Well, it's not about big, dramatic gestures. It's something much quieter, much more consistent. It's about the daily, unseen steps you take when no one is watching. It all boils down to this, taking just one more step. Not a giant leap, just one. That's the entire game. Yeah, it might feel like a small step, but it's a real one, and that's the real power. It doesn't matter how small it is, as long as you're moving forward. Every single one is a win. And this is where the magic happens. Over time, those tiny, almost invisible steps, they start to compound. They build on each other, day after day, week after week. Eventually, that compounding effect leads to something extraordinary. Those small, private steps start to pile up into massive public results. And suddenly, the way the world sees you shifts all over again. You get to a point where the results are so big, so undeniable, that people have no choice but to take notice. Your success is suddenly visible to everyone. And here it is, the ultimate irony. One day, the same people who told you to relax, who said you were taking it too seriously, they're going to look at you and say, wow, you're lucky, as if it all just fell out of the sky. But they didn't see it, did they? They didn't see the early mornings. They didn't see the sacrifices, the relentless discipline, or the thousands of those small, unseen steps. They only see the finish line, not the marathon you ran to get there. So remember this. Obsession, when you learn how to channel it, isn't a weakness. It's not something you should be afraid of. It's a weapon. And the only real question is, are you ready to use it?